Francisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. A lady up ahead waved to flag me down. She got in at the light. Oh, where you going to, my lady blue? It's a shame you ruined your gown in the rain. She just looked out the window and said, 16 Parkside Lane. Something about her was familiar. I could swear I'd seen her face before. But she said, I'm sure you're mistaken. And she didn't say anything more. It took a while, but she looked in the mirror. Then she glanced at the license for my name. A smile seemed to come to her slowly. It was a sad smile, just the same. And she said, how are you, Harry? I said, how are you, Sue? Through the too many miles and two little smiles, I still remember you. That is an awesome song. It is written, of course, by Harry Chapin. It's called Taxi.
Hi, welcome to Notables. Today we're featuring singer-songwriter Harry Chapin. Harry Chapin was born on December 7th, 1942 in New York's Greenwich Village. His father was a big band drummer and his dad played with the big bands of Woody Herman and Tommy Dorsey. When Harry was young, he sang in the Brooklyn Heights Boys Choir in the 1950s. His first instrument that he learned was the trumpet, and then he learned how to play banjo and guitar. At the age of 15, he started a band with his brothers.
Harry studied architecture at the Air Force Academy and then philosophy at Cornell University. But in 1964, he left school to join his brothers Tom and Steve to join a group. In fact, they joined a group with their dad. They called the group the Chapin Brothers, and they played at spots in Greenwich Village.
Harry also worked in the film industry. He worked first as a film packer, and then he moved into the film editing department. By the 1960s, Harry was making his own documentaries.
In 1971, Harry had the idea to rent a venue and put on concerts with his brothers and his dad, and the venue was called the Village Gate in New York. He rented it out and advertised the fact that they were doing concerts, and people started showing up, and a fan base soon developed. Not only did fans show up, but so did some executives from Elektra Records, and it resulted in a contract with Elektra Records that remained a deal that Harry had throughout the entire 1970s.
Harry had a single and an album on the national charts. The single was a short story titled Taxi, and that song reflected Harry's efforts to become a taxi driver. The song received a lot of airplay despite its unconventional length of 6 minutes.
In 1974, Harry released an album called Short Stories. The biggest hit from that album was WOLD, which was a song about an aging disc jockey who worked at an AM radio station. Harry's fourth album was called Verities and Boulder Dash. It included the hit song Cats in the Cradle, which has become a classic. The album and the song both soared past gold record levels and made Harry Chapin a bona fide star, in spite of the fact that his balladeer style of writing and performing songs was very unconventional, especially on top 40 radio of his day.
Harry performed many benefit concerts over the years. In fact, of the 200 concerts that he performed annually, half of them benefited the causes and charities that he believed in. Harry wanted to eradicate hunger across the globe, so Harry helped found the World Hunger Year. Harry lobbied the Senate and the House and even the President of the United States to pass a resolution that would end world hunger.
In 1977, Harry Chapin released a double album called Dance Band on the Titanic. It included 11 songs, and the theme throughout the entire 11 songs was to imply that the entertainment industry was on thin ice and about ready to sink like the Titanic.
Toward the end of Harry's career, Harry wrote a song called Sequel, which was a sequel to the song Taxi, and that was when the man and the woman in the original song Taxi met after 10 years, but their roles were reversed. Harry died unexpectedly in an automobile accident on July 16, 1981 on the Long Island Expressway. Because of Harry's generosity and his caring for his fellow human being, that is why he is featured in Notables, the well-sung heroes of songwriting. One of our favorite Harry Chapin songs is Mr. Tanner. This is a song about a tailor who wants to be a singer. And featured as Mr. Tanner in Harry Chapin's concerts and on the record is Harry Chapin's bass player, Big John. Well, featured with Larry today doing the part of Mr. Tanner is our friend, Dan Martone.
Tanner was a cleaner from a town in the Midwest, and of all the cleaning shops around, he made his the best. But he also was a baritone who sang while hanging clothes. He practiced scales while pressing tails and sang at local shows. His friends and neighbors praised the voice that poured out from his throat. They said that he should use his gift instead of cleaning coats. But music was his life, it was not his livelihood, and it made him feel so happy, and it made him feel so good. He sang from his heart, and he sang from his soul. He did not know how well he sang, it just made him whole. His friends kept working on him to try music out full time. A big debut with rave reviews, a great career to climb. Finally they got to him, he would take the fling. A concert agent in New York agreed to have him sing. And there were plane tickets, phone calls, money spent to rent the hall. It took most of his savings, but he gladly used them all. But music was his life, it was not his livelihood, and it made him feel so happy, and it made him feel so good. And he sang from his heart, and he sang from his soul. He did not know how well he sang, it just made him whole. The evening came, he took the stage, his face lit with a smile, and in the half-filled hall, critics sat watching on the aisle. But the concert was a blur to him, spatters of applause. He did not know how well he sang, he only heard the flaws. But the critics were concise, it only took 4 lines, but no one could accuse them of being overkind.
Mr. Martin Tanner, baritone of Dayton, Ohio, made his town hall debut last night. He came well prepared, but unfortunately, his presentation was not up to contemporary professional standards. His voice lacks the range of tonal color necessary to make it consistently interesting. Full-time consideration of an other endeavor might be in order.
He came back home to Dayton and was questioned by his friends. Then he smiled and just said nothing, and he never sang again. Excepting very late at night when the shop was dark and closed, he sang softly to himself as he sorted through the clothes. Music was his life, it was not his livelihood, and it made him feel so happy, and it made him feel so good. And he sang from his heart, and he sang from his soul.